This is Jackie from Bronx Baubles, also known as Titi Gaudy. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you this video from a new location of my home. I thought maybe I'll change it up a little bit and make it more interesting. But let's get started on why we're really here. And that is because of my recent $50 vintage costume jewelry haul at the thrift store. I want to show you some of the things that I purchased. You know, vintage costume jewelry is getting harder and harder to find these days. There's just a saturation of people out there, and the prices are just skyrocketing. And especially when you live here in New York, there's a lot of competition for fabulous jewels. I want to give you some insight on why I selected certain pieces in my collection. Entire haul cost me $50. So let's get started showing you the pieces. So this first piece here is these brass earrings, and they're pierced back, and in these brass earrings is an etched design of a circle within a circle, as well as a flower motif. And the reason why I purchased these is because it reminded me of beautiful angel wings. And I felt that to put them alongside your ears, and there's a left and a right, it looks like I have these gorgeous little angel wings. I have a lot of brass necklaces, and so I'm starting to amass some of the earrings. And I believe this one's maybe perhaps from the 80s. And that's why I purchased these, because I just love the motif of angel wings. My next purchase were these earrings. These I call my cha-cha earrings. I like anything with a lot of movement, and I speak about that in a lot of my videos. I just like that kinetic feeling of jewelry moving. It makes you feel alive. I also love the bugle beads and the color of these earrings, and the gold is just outstanding. And I felt that, you know, I have a lot of hair. And so for people with my situation with a lot of hair, you need substantial earrings to bring out, you know, the earring. I just think these are fabulous. In fact, I could rock these today with the outfit that I'm wearing, and I think I would look like a beautiful señorita. Don't you think? Earring that I bought are phenomenal. And I spotted these earrings 10 feet away. Now, I've been researching and looking at earrings for decades, and I've always wanted a particular piece of earring that I did not have in my collection, and that is Roman glass earrings, or anything Roman glass, a necklace, a bracelet, a ring. And I finally acquired these. These glass earrings have flecks of iridescence in the glass. And they look like fish scales, or maybe even like a fairy dust. It's just stunningly gorgeous. They're like light blue, they have dark blue, they have lavender, there's purple, there's violet, there's pink, there's all kinds of colors. And depending on what you're wearing, I'm sure the colors would even come out more. What's so phenomenal about these earrings is that basically you're wearing a piece of ancient history. And what do I mean by ancient history? Roman glass is glass that is excavated by archaeologists. And they're excavated in Mediterranean and the Roman Empire. And they're over 2,000 years old. So in essence, when you're wearing Roman glass jewelry, you're actually wearing a piece of ancient history that's over 2,000 years old. And what happens is during these excavations, especially in locations like Israel used to be the glass capital of the world. And so a lot of glass was made in Israel. And because of that, there's lots of glass in the earth. And this Roman glass is made by the terror, or the earth, and the thousands of years that have passed, and the pressure and the sun and the climate, and it does something to the glass that turns it into this iridescence that I spoke of, that Aurora borealisness, that beautiful, just stunningly gorgeous blues and violets and pinks and purples and that shine and sheen. They're phenomenal. So they, archaeologist excavates this glass, and sometimes the glass comes in fragments. These fragments are what makes the jewelry. So when you're wearing Roman glass jewelry, you're wearing 2,000-year-old piece of ancient history, and the idea of that in jewelry is just outstanding. Now here's the thing, when you're at a thrift store, sometimes people can see it and say, oh, that's really pretty, but they don't know the history. And that sometimes the story is in the history and the inspiration is in the history. And so when I spotted these Roman glass earrings, I knew right away what they were, and I scooped them up like a thief in the night. Hone in your eyes, read up on the history, have like a mental picture of the things that you want to add to your collection, like I did with these. I knew I wanted these, and now I'm looking for a necklace and a ring. And I paid only $7 for just to wear an ancient piece of history, and I would keep this in my collection for a long, long time. These earrings on the market go for anywhere, if you're lucky, for $75 or even up to $100 or up, depending on the style, depending how big the fragment is. And so these earrings here are probably worth about $100, and especially to those people who know what it is. So for my $50, if I just turn this earrings around, I'm already ahead of the game. Before I go any further, I do want to share with you that I had a good friend who was one of the first people who spotted me on my YouTube channel, and her name is Iris. Hi Iris, this is a shout out for you. And she saw me again at the store, and she brought with her a gift for me, and I just thought that was so special. It melted my heart that she would even think of me. Thank you so much for this beautiful articulated abalone fish. This fish moves, and it has these scales that are made with abalone. The eyes have these round circular mother of pearls with a black dot in it. It's I would say that this silver might be alpaca. It's not marked. And what she told me was that it came in this chain. She says, you know, the chain that doesn't really go with the fish. And she has a great eye for jewelry. You know, you need to change the chain into something a little bit better for that fish, and I think she's right about that. So I went digging in my jewelry stash, and I remembered I had this fabulous abalone and Tahitian pearl necklace, and this was given to me by my good friend Adelio about 7 years ago. I think marrying these two pieces really elevated the necklace and the fish. And I am going to be so happy to wear this piece. Thank you so much for thinking of me. The next piece in my collection is this evil eye. I love evil eyes. I remember 30 years ago when I first spotted them, it was a girl from Turkey who gave me a little bead and it had the evil eye. And evil eye basically is a talisman or an amulet that is shaped as an eye. And it's supposed to ward off evil spirits. Anyone who looks at you, who gives you envy, who's jealous, who wishes ill upon you, this evil eye is supposed to cast it right back at them. So it captures the evilness and then puts it right back out into who sent it to you. And typically the evil eyes are blue. And they there's a lot of debate to where they were started. Some people say they were started in Greece. Some people say they were started in Turkey. Perhaps maybe they were started in both locations. I don't know, but I can tell you I just love them. And what I like about this one is that it's a substantial size. It's gonna really look nice on a necklace. Look out for these evil eyes. I just like them. The item that I purchased that day was this gorgeous, stunning, I just love green jewelry. And this is a faceted natural stone necklace. Now, I don't know what stone this is. I just love the gradation of the color and that you can tell it's natural. It's not just a glass piece that's one solid color. Each and every one of these beads have a different shading of green, which is one of my favorite colors. And what I like is it's close to your neck, which typically don't like necklaces that are close to my neck, but I think this one looks fabulous. And I like the contrasting of this red dress with this green, and then you have these marcasite beads in the middle, and it has this nice magnetic clasp. So it's definitely not vintage per se, it's definitely modern. This clasp has rhinestones on it, and it makes it so easy to put the necklace on and off, and as I get older, I appreciate things like that. So I'm looking forward to wearing it this summer. Then I purchased this locket. This locket, I usually tend to buy jewelry that has glass beads. They have to be made with either natural stone, like the green necklace I showed you, or glass. This is a black jet glass beaded necklace, and it comes with this fabulous locket. And I do have quite a bit of lockets in my collection. I favor lockets a lot. Fabulous for layering like this. And what I liked about this one necklace, and the reason why I purchased it, is this clasp here. I love this type of clasp. That's why I got this piece. Then I got this necklace, and I started to collect mother of pearl beaded necklaces, and I showed them in a couple of my other videos. This one is really pretty. It's a little bit more modern than the ones that I had previously from the 50s and 60s. This is more, up to date, 80s or anywhere to today. And I like the different stations, the gold stations in between some of these beads. Those stations are a little bit more pricey than the cheaper circular plasticky ones. It has some nice weight to it, and I think it would be great to wear this layered with some of the other pieces that I have in my collection. So I couldn't pass this up, and that's why I got this piece. Then, how could I not purchase this piece? My first love of vintage costume jewelry came from an Aurora borealis necklace like this from the 50s. This is a 4-tier necklace, and I have several earrings that can match with this. I have several necklaces like this, and if you saw my decorating for the Christmas holiday video, you'll see that I decorated a small tree and a wreath with Aurora borealis, using Aurora borealis as garland. And so when I see these, and they're a good price, and I think I paid $7.99 for this one, I just scoop them right up. I just think I still have a love for them. And this is what it will look like on. So this necklace, I vacillated whether I was going to purchase it or not, because I use these necklaces as layering pieces. And I have quite a bit of them, and so I decided at the end to purchase it because I thought it was very well made. It's not marked, it's not branded at all. I just thought it was, each and every one of these has a rope effect on it, and I just thought the texture on it would be nicer. Usually some of the other ones that I have are just solid, shiny gold pieces, and so I thought this one would just add a little bit more texture. And I like the little toggle clasp. And I would say that this was made anywhere from the 80s to now. So, and that's the beauty of these types of pieces, is that they're timeless. 20 years from now, this will probably still be relevant. Now, the last of the necklaces that I purchased is this one right here. Look at how I just love the way it drapes. This is a Sarah Coventry. Now, Sarah Coventry was a company that started back in 1949, and I think that they stopped producing all the way up to the late 80s, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. It's more at-home sales, and it became very, very popular, and they have some really nice pieces, and they're starting to become more and more collectibles. I would say that they're not top of the line. They're maybe not in the middle of the line, maybe around that, but they're definitely not lower line. And some of the pieces are really, really nice, like this one. It's timeless. This was probably made in the 60s or 70s, and we're in 2021 right now, and you can still rock this and look right on point. So these are timeless pieces, and it's nice to have these timeless pieces in your collection. So go ahead and scoop them up if you see this. This is a brass basket weave wicker or cane bracelet. It's the first time I've seen a brass bracelet like this that's made with this sort of texture, and that's what I look for sometimes. I look for pieces that are going to add texture to my collection. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. You can see each and every one of these brass bracelets has a different design motif. This one has these diamond and they have little designs that go on top of these rectangles that are, you know, vertically. And then you have this brass bracelet that has the piercing. And when you put all three of them on, it just elevates this whole look. The fact that they all have different designs and textures just makes this a really, really interesting piece, I think. This is what it looks like up close. The last piece that I have in my collection is, again, one of those pieces that the more comfortable you get and the more you touch and you feel and you look at costume jewelry, the easier you can spot these gems that are hidden. And it is this bracelet right here. Now, to the average Joe or Josie, this would look like just a regular bangle. But I knew that this was a Bakelite bangle. And the reason why I know this is Bakelite bangle is because I've felt and touched a lot of Bakelite in my travels through vintage costume jewelry. I also studied in books. And so I have this art plastic jewelry book, and this bangle is actually in this book. I'll show you just a small snippet of the resources of books that I have. I'll put this one book on the description. It says that it retails for $100. Now, Bakelite was hot commodity. It's not like most vintage custom jewelry and art and antiques. The prices have gone down a little bit. So they go up and down, they get fashionable and they become out of fashion. And so there was a time where you could probably get $100 for this bangle. Now I went online and they go anywhere from $50 to $75. So again, with this bangle alone, it would pay for this whole $50 haul. Now, how do you know that this is Bakelite? And you could sometimes spot it and you just have a feel for it. But then you can go home and you purchase this semi-chrome polish. You take a little bit on a Q-tip and you place it usually on the inside and you rub it. And if it turns yellow, then it's Bakelite. Don't put a whole lot and make sure you clean it up afterwards so that it doesn't stay on the piece. And so I did that with this semi-chrome polish, and I was able to comfortably and with security say that this definitely is a Bakelite. And so again, this was found in like one of those baskets full of bracelets. But because of my keen eye, of all the bracelets that were in there, I knew that this had the potential of being Bakelite. And when I brought it home, I confirmed it. You can purchase this right online, or you can purchase this at the Harley-Davidson store, and I think you might even be able to purchase it at the Home Depot. Okay, so that, my friends, is my recent $50 custom jewelry haul. Go out there and start looking for your treasures and start adding to your collection. Every day I go out to the thrift store, it's a new adventure. I learn something new. I come home and then I dig in and I find more of the history of what it is. And so I am just so thrilled to be sharing some of this information with you. Let me know which piece you think is your favorite, and let me know of any recent vintage custom jewelry hauls that you've went through, and which pieces resonated and called out to you. Enjoy sharing my pieces with you. And so thank you so much. Y con mucho amor. Ciao.